Being dropped from the Indian team more often than not means that finding your way back in can be a little bit of a task. However, it is even tougher when you have not only been dropped from the side but also no longer a centrally contracted player from the BCCI. That means that the BCCI has no obligation really to pick you, and you need to be putting in some stupendously good performances to get back into consideration. Amazingly, despite that not really being the case, Shreyas Iyer, someone who along with Ishan Kishan were dropped very publicly from their BCCI central contracts at the beginning of this year, has suddenly found himself back in contention for an India call up. How exactly? Well, that's what we're going to be discussing in this particular video. Now, what we're getting to hear from multiple news reports is that Shreyas Iyer may very well be available to play the Sri Lanka ODI series. That is what he's most likely going to be selected for. And it is worth noting that the last time he played for India in an ODI was against the South African team. And at that point, his last innings saw him get a half century. And it is an unlikely second innings to say the least, given he had not only been dropped from his central contracts but very publicly the BCCI in their release announcing the new contracts had name-checked both him and Ishan Kishan as players who were dropped from their central contracts. But why exactly was that the case? I mean, let's refresh your memory quickly and go over why it is that Shreyas Iyer did not get a BCCI central contract to begin with. Well, the reason for it was the BCCI believed that he was dodging domestic cricket. Remember, he was told to play a Ranji Trophy game, but then he'd said that he had some back spasms, so couldn't play. Yet when time came to be selected for the England series, or the last 3 England series, he made himself available. The BCCI saw that, as well as the fact that he turned up for a KKR training camp prior to the IPL, as being a red flag, and thus punished him accordingly. Now, the real question that one has to ask is that victory which he got in the IPL 2024, is that going to be one of those key factors to get him back in? Perhaps, especially when you consider who the next Indian head coach will be. Of course, it is going to be Gautam Gambhir, someone who was not only Shreyas Iyer's mentor in the KKR side that ended up clinching the IPL title in 2024, but Gambhir himself has always been a big backer of Shreyas Iyer, as is evidenced by the fact that when Gambhir stepped down from the captaincy of the then Delhi Daredevils, the player whom he picked to replace him was Shreyas Iyer. So there's a long-standing bond between the two of them, and Gambhir clearly sees something special in Iyer, which perhaps explains why it is that a player who he didn't really light the IPL on fire, let's be fair. He had a few good knocks here or there, but nothing spectacular, nothing outstanding, nothing that will make you go, wow. Despite that, finds himself with a chance to come back into the setup for the ODIs, which is again a big thing when you consider that 2025, the main focus is going to be the Champions Trophy. So him making a comeback in the ODI side could very well mean that he would be representing India in another ICC tournament. Now, of course, he did play for India in the ICC World Cup and did well, got a good amount of runs, a couple of centuries here or there, and generally was probably one of the better performers in the middle order. So in that sense, may very well be a good call. But what do you guys think? You can let us know that in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap the bell icon, follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, X and Facebook. Don't forget to download the AajTak app, and if you're already on the channel, go ahead, check out some other videos we've done as well. For now though, from my side, it is goodbye.